I don't know what Emmy just said, but it sounded like, oh, terrible. But we're going to assume it's good. Time to get spoopy. It's time for more Carrion Crown. We took a week off because it was a holiday here in the States, and I'm lucky enough to have money on YouTube that actually get to celebrate that holiday. And on that note, Robin and Anthony and Emily, that's no one here is named Emily and Vidigree, Apogee, Pedigree. I remember bed knobs and broomsticks. All of y'all, thank y'all for your Patreons. Sven can't make it today, so there's a character sheet in the Discord if someone would like to be Sven to bring our players up to speed, because we're running a little behind today. Yeah, to bring our players up to speed. You're fine. You literally, I was getting ready to get up and get out the door, and then I see you. Oh, okay, he's alive. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Playing the game. You need to be on the initiative, friendo. Oh, boom. The party. I left Facebook open. And say hi to my girlfriend, everyone. Boom. Got it closed. Bam. Okay, that never happened. The party has come to the wee abandoned village of Hergstag, looking for clues to help all beastie not get burned at the stake. When they arrived at the abandoned town, they arrived at a town that has been overgrown with grass and squares that are too big for use in this game. And after some wandering, they found a body that got caught in a bear trap, and several other bear traps, and a little baby wraith spawn. And in addition, we found the actual wraith who had attacked right at the end of last time. I'm gonna roll him into the initiative really quickly. First, I need your stats. Everyone has the hero point. Whoever runs Fio gets the second.
I can do.
Nice.
Got the sheet.
Cool. Sounds good to me. 1d20 plus 5. Bang. Hey! I'm going first! I did it, guys. I'm so proud of me. Skending. So, first is Spoopy Wraith. I'm not even sure everybody can see it. Edgar can't. Edgar can hear the sound of, like, bees buzzing. Like a massive swarm of wasps. If Molden can see what it is, he's fine. Yeah, Molden can see it and knows it's not a bunch of vermin, and so his drawback doesn't immediately go off.
I'm alive.
Thank you.
Appearing out of nowhere, and we're gonna... I know some people already had some conjuring, but I'm gonna just grab for the person right in front of me. Geldern! Does a 21 hit your touch?
Oh, totally does, yeah.
Alrighty, so it's a single point of negative energy damage, Quicksend the Dampier, and a single point of Constitution drain as what you know is
that one.
Oh, wait, I rolled the wrong stats. Hold on a minute. I caught that. That one's fine. I rolled the stats for the baby wraith. I thought that was Brother Swarm's stats. It's not. Whoopsie. And it passes to Molden. You guys see, suddenly, the monster gets stronger.
Oh, jeez.
Molden, you're up.
Okay. Where are we exactly?
Oh, God.
I can't see anything
Hold
either.
on.
I can't see anything.
There.
Are we not
Yes.
You are there.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
That
We
should have been...
still don't know where we are in the, like, were we just on top of the house, or?
You guys are inside it.
Inside, yeah.
Okay, and it's attacking us through a wall?
It's attacking through the open door.
Oh, through the open door. Okay, and therefore, that's a wall next to me on my right there.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Maybe we should
Okay.
close the door.
You guys see
Closing
the wraith
the door
5 foot
would
step
be-
into the floor and then stab up.
Alright. Can I hit it from where I am then?
Yeah, you can.
Alright, I'll attempt to hit it. And I don't think I have my summons anymore at this point.
Nah.
Should be alright still.
17 is not enough. The creature sees you and just kind of shifts out of the way a little bit. Your sword hits the side of the building.
Okay.
And if that's all...
That's all I got right now, because if I move, I don't know if I'll be able to find my place again.
Yeah, that is a thing that's happening. Alright, Asiri.
Alright. So I can attack it from where I am? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, you're 5 feet away.
Alright, just wasn't sure with the door there. So, I suppose I will attack with the supernatural ability from the shaman healing hex that's positive energy, so I think that'll hurt it.
Makes sense. Make it so, number 1.
Alright.
Do 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 do. Nah, you were feeling sick earlier. I don't wanna throw the jeopardy at you. That hits.
Oh, and then I will spend a...
That crits.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Okay, sure.
So,
And the shaman
let's make it
one-shots the
so.
monster.
That is 2d8 plus 6. We're level 6, right?
Yeah.
But it's doubled because...
Right, so just roll it and then
Yeah.
we'll double it. So 32 points of damage. Okay. That happened. Anything else? You monster.
I'm gonna 5-foot step this away.
Okay. And Geldern.
All right. I guess I will attempt casting defensively.
Okay.
That was my caster stat plus my level, I think.
You got it.
Okay. So... over here.
That's. I assume you're casting a magic missile. That succeeds.
Yep. So I will just full blast him with magic missiles.
Okay.
417.
Yeah,
Nice.
that happened. I'm just gonna. I need to double check something about the incorporeal subtype because I'm forgetting. Going to that and that touches that, unless they're do, and you're just gonna get. There it is. I just need to see if he takes all the force damage, or if he takes half the force damage. 4 spells and effects, such the effect normally. Okay, so if you would like to flavor that kill.
Well, Geldon shortly panics because he gets attacked through an open door, and in his panic, he just full-on blasts the thing right in its face and blows it up. He's like, ah!
Ah! Magic missile. Okay.
I mean, that's just what he does. If it had been a door, he would have attacked it the same way.
Fair enough. Okay. Initiative is off. Some things happen. For now, the floor is your all's at the moment.
I would like to get some of the essence of the creature.
Okay.
It's whatchamacallit.
Can you guys? Well, you don't need to make.
Ectoplasm.
You guys don't need to make a perception check. As this thing falls into a pile of sadness on the ground, basically, you guys hear the sounds of several children crying and screaming, and the sounds are moving away from the village.
Away from us.
Yes.
I think we killed their Wraith father.
If someone can make a religion check, actually.
All right.
Wow, despite this being a short session, we've had a very productive one. Molden's not sure.
Hang on, I'm rolling here. As soon as I look at my religion.
Why did Microsoft Edge just open up on me?
'Cause it's time. Edgar's not sure either.
Uh,
You all just hear the sounds of children crying, and yeah, you got 12. Yeah, that's good enough. You all put your heads together, and it dawns on all three of you that what you killed was probably the head wraith, and the children running around. If the wraith was the one responsible for their deaths, they would have been the spawn, right? And when that happens, those spawn become full wraiths in their own right. But it seems to be that in doing so, it has unbound their spirits from Hergstag. So on the one hand, you've made more powerful and free-willed undead. On the other hand, they probably aren't going to threaten you unless you try to go find them.
alrighty.
Yeah, so guys, what is your opinion on having confused ghosts running around murder spreeing?
Well, from my understanding, confused ghosts around this area. But that does not sound great.
I mean, well, I guess there's also the problem of actually having to find them.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but I can barely see like the tip of my fingers when I extend my hands. I feel like
Yeah, that's
I
accurate.
don't think I've ever seen so little.
So, while you say that, I'm collecting some ectoplasm, and I say, we should look for clues. If we run into them, kill them. If we don't run into them, they're meant to live in undeath.
Yeah, no, I can get behind that plan.
Same
You
here.
know, maybe we should summon a lamp thingy and send that after him.
Lamp angels.
A lantern archon?
Yes.
The Lantern Archon was unable to find anything last time, so
They're making noise this time.
They are. They are making noise as...
Tell them to kill the cry.
They have gone from... It sounds like 5 distinct voices. They've gone from 5 wraith spawn to 5 wraiths. They have become much more powerful than they were a second ago.
Oh man.
Wraiths are nasty when they have spawn.
That is how I killed Chewie the second time in Doomsday Dawn, was with wraiths, and turned him into a spawn.
Well, no, I think you actually turned him into a haunt.
No, you turned me
What?
into a... No, one time I played as a haunt. And
Oh,
then I
God,
played
Poltergeist,
as a...
yeah.
And then I played as a wraith spawn.
That was when he died on accident. In the one that wasn't supposed to be, we're just going to vomit encounters until you
I'm
die.
like,
Yeah.
I go upstairs to check on the vampire. Second vampire.
Yeah, pretty much. That was rough.
I
Those
think
events
that-
do take place alongside the events of Carrion Ground. That's happening in universe this year.
Let's see.
Maybe we'll go back and do that one again. Do a little side mission. Don't cast no fire spells in the house. Don't do it. It's bad.
I can sense there's an half-orc named Hank being attacked by vampires somewhere.
We'll never know him.
It's probably your father
right
attacking
now.
him.
Oh man. Is that interdimensional being messing with us again?
Yes.
Oh well, considering he saved us last time, okay.
Yeah,
enough.
for sure.
Let's. I vote we explore, guys. Try to find more clues. Keep looking for any of the children's bodies, or you said there was a cave molding or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
wow.
knows there's at the top of a hill. There was almost like a ocarina of time style grotto sort of thing where the bodies had been dumped.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You
I'm
guys,
rolling
I'm
a silver.
pretty sure you guys have searched in this house already, and
Yeah,
like a
I
bear
think
trap.
so too.
Yep.
Let's
That's
move
the
out
legal
again.
way.
Well, I'm standing right in front of the door, so we'll take the first step, I guess.
Okay. And Chewie has a 32 on a survival check.
I thought that's what I was using to find our way through.
Yeah, you got the road.
Yeah, okay. Can we just move the whole group, I guess?
Yeah, that's fine. You are able to, because there aren't as many threats as there used to be.
You're saying that by having a bunch of wraith spawn turn into full-blown wraith feels like the danger has multiplied instead of reduced.
Yeah, that's my bad for breaking the ambiance. You're able to, you can get outside, and that check was good enough. You can track down the road back to where the guy who'd got stuck in the bear trap and clearly been drained to death by wraiths.
Also, I can't see where we went.
Hold on a minute. I'm going. There you are, you nerds.
Man.
I'd like to roll a perception to look around.
Okay, sure.
Let's see here. No, I don't want to add that many bonuses to it. I wish I could.
No, you add 11, Chewie. We've been over this.
No, it's...
Oh, a 19 on the die.
Yeah, I actually typed in 111.
Nope, not so much. Well. Okay, so nothing has really gone through here. That body, I believe, is still there. I don't remember. I don't think we put the body in the bag of holding.
We took the
I
head.
think we did.
We took something from the body, eh?
Yeah,
It
that's
was
right.
the head.
So then the
of
rest,
the body.
the body of the body is still right where you left it. But nothing else has disturbed it. Nothing's really happened.
You guys think this was the grown wraith, or at one
That
point?
I do not know.
I don't
I
think
didn't even see it.
Didn't the corpse look like it was killed by a wraith?
Yeah.
Oh,
looked
then
like-
it would have been a spawn.
Yeah. Or maybe it was killed by the spawn.
which cannot themselves make spawn.
Yeah. Because we are hearing children, and this guy looks like he was drained to death. So maybe he was killed by the spawn and not by the original wraith itself.
Yeah, the Papa wraith.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's like Papa Smurf.
Everything's wraith.
La 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 la. Well, now what, team?
Alright, well, we still wanted to go through that grotto. So,
Well,
you
you looks-
guys lead the way. Survival out there.
yeah, if you would.
To the grotto!
That's good enough. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the dynamic lighting on this map because there are no more threats here, and it will take the night. This doesn't let you move faster, but you can now scroll out and see the entire enormity of how big this map is, and you can see all the things, and you can get to all the things.
Nice.
Cool.
There are lots of
Oh,
buildings
what-
that we can search, probably.
And Theo can't fail to disarm the bear trap when you guys find him. So
You said
Right,
something
so-
about being able to see the enormity of the map. I can't see
When I
anything.
zoom out,
Yeah.
the light source gets bigger, but that's about it.
yeah,
Right.
great.
Same.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
The light source gets bigger. That's it.
Huh. That's odd. I've disabled dynamic lighting, so you should be able
First
to.
I want to
Amazing.
refresh.
That's weird. Let me check that again. Here we go. We try that.
Well, for me, not even the light source gets bigger.
Damn.
Huh.
Dynamic
Oh,
lighting
no,
is
now
not
it
on.
does. Now it does. No, but it's at a weird place.
Oh, I
Like,
see.
not where my characters used to be anymore.
This
My
is a
character's
big,
down
big map.
there.
It's
And
29,000
there.
pixels by 29,000 pixels. This map is.
That's
I
great.
think you might have overwhelmed Roll20 with that one.
Yeah, it's really big.
It's like, I have no idea how to resolve that lighting issue.
Yeah, like I'm moving the map. Oh gosh, this is a big map.
Currently, I'm seeing a big spot of just green.
Yeah, that's all the
Yeah.
grass, the green grass.
There's a lake. That looks like
Yeah.
there's so
Refresh
much.
the page, it helps. You don't lose where you're at.
Yeah, here I'll.
Let's do
You are
that.
there.
Cool.
Refresh page. All right.
Oh yeah, that worked. Oh nice.
Holy crap!
Yeah. Map is not small.
Ooh.
I think this is what it's like when an oracle has a revelation.
They realized
I'm
that.
all the way
Suddenly-
scrolled out, and I still can't see all of it.
This map was 1 square equals 50 feet, and it expected you to have an encounter on it. So that's a real big one.
Yeah, they
Oh, jeez.
had a separate map for the encounter.
They didn't give me a separate map for the encounter. They
man.
just boom.
This map looks so huge, it almost gives me the feeling as if it can see the world's curvature on it.
Well, you guys can see all the things,
What?
so you can.
Well, you can definitely see the topography.
You guys are
Like
walking
lines
like
for the
along a
hill.
hill. Yeah.
Let us travel.
And you know,
And
actually,
find-
I'm gonna say now that the house that is blue, it was blue on the interactive map, and it's supposed to be just not anything. This is just a house that's important for reasons, but I can't turn that blue off. And of course, you guys are gonna walk up and see, oh, that house is glowing neon blue. Must be important. So it was haunted.
I would search all houses anyway.
That's
Do we
fair.
have enough time to search all the houses?
Well, on the way, we can't see that far. So when we walk past the house, I assume that we look into it.
You guys have
Oh,
enough time
wow.
to search all the houses and get back with, like, you won't have time to rest 8 hours before the next day of the trial if you want to search all the houses, but, like, you could do it.
And we need to
That's
get the.
not
And I'd also
fun.
like to get the rope while we're searching houses back.
And, okay,
Yeah.
you now have it. Someone remembered. Congratulations. You have a rope once again. It's no ordinary rope.
Good.
Good rope.
Good
Please
rope.
don't lose this again.
Yeah,
I won't.
I think that's worth like several thousand gold too.
It's a very nice rope.
Yeah.
And you left it for dead. Well,
Who left it? Who left it?
it was Chewie specifically.
Yeah, that's what
I give it. I put it in Gildan's backpack.
I put it in the back of hold.
We just fight over who carries the rope. No, in the bag.
It's on the back.
I don't have a rope.
I feel like playing Dota.
Yeah.
Because everyone, at the start of the game, you could announce that the game was already won, and the character would be like, "The game's in the back."
I would like to. I guess roll survival to continue
Based,
traveling.
based on the 19, you guys can go anywhere on the board. The amount of houses you search will dictate what time it is and how much sleep you can get, basically.
All right, guys. Where would you like to go?
Well,
The amount of ping.
I would keep following the road, and on that way, I would certainly want to check out that house. That's also glowing blue.
Is this here the hill?
After that, I don't know. What would
What-
your survival check say? Left or right?
I don't know. I see what I think may be hill on the map, but my ping is so small. When I'm so zoomed out, I don't think you all can see it.
I didn't, yeah, no, I have no idea. I see Robin's, I don't see Chewie's. We're playing hide and go seek, but it's with the ping. Where is your ping? Hello, ping.
Where are you pinging at?
Okay, go all the way to the left-hand corner, just about it, and then go up some, and you see that spinning circle. Is that the hill? Like
Ah,
the
yeah.
circles stacked up.
This.
You mean that one?
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
hill. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Is
I
this-
found Chewie's ping.
Yes,
Ha!
this is
Yeah.
my pinging.
I did it. I'm so proud of me.
It doesn't help
This-
that it's yellow.
Yeah.
I'll change it.
I
I did that
mean-
because it was so dark of a inside Hero Stone.
That's fair.
True.
You say to the
Molten
guy
is
who still has
worse.
a black ping, and I'm trying to ping through dynamic lighting.
Molten's ping is
There you go.
actually the same color as the ground.
Oof.
If
Okay,
Nice.
so we go to the
Mine's a
house.
specific color. I'm not changing it because then I have to look it up again.
Fair enough. He's got to get the CMYK. Okay, so in that
Exactly.
house, there's nothing important in that house. It's
Oh,
This
wait.
house?
yeah, the one right in front of you guys. It's more of the same. It's been clearly run down. There was a child's room here, but there's nothing there specifically.
Okay.
Alright.
Might be one of the
Yes.
now full-on wraith children.
Wait,
This-
isn't that the house we first came to? Because there's the bridge.
I think we're looking at different houses. I mean, we're at this house.
Yeah.
Right there. Oh, I moved the map
Where's
to
the
two
bridge?
houses. The bridge is up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and in
Where
that
was
house we
the-
left.
No,
the
we're going
originally.
down on the map, not up.
Yeah,
You guys are here now. There we go. I did it.
nice.
Yeah, there's nothing really there. Nothing
Yeah.
super important at all.
So I'm wondering, once we leave the house, do we go through the one that leads to water, or the one that leads to a house?
I think we should lead to the one that goes to the hill.
Yes.
Since
Yeah, I think the hill is more to the left, so I guess we get
It is.
past this house.
we should go down to here, yeah.
Okay. And I will. This map's not small, friends. Nothing in those houses either. I will, for funsies, no one panic. I'll put there was a wraith spawn there, but it's run away now. And you guys make it down there. More of the same. The houses are dilapidated and sad, and there's nothing in them. There is no road up to the hill. The hill just kind of like after here, just like you would go off the road and start heading up.
Alright.
Is this the hill that has the well?
Yeah, Molden's pretty sure you guys are there.
How silent is that hill?
It actually kind of smells like coal. Like there's some like gas coming up
Yes.
from a mine, and it might be causing people to hallucinate.
I think we should at least see how there's like a circle of houses. I think we should explore the circle of houses and whatever this is down here by the water, and then head up to the hill just to get the circle
Okay, sounds
complete.
good to me.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Sure, and what's down here?
Give me some perception checks.
I had to refresh my thing.
20 altogether?
That's what's for me. Let's see what the bonus is like for Theo.
That's for Lulu.
No, I don't want to roll one D29.
Okay, so basically it's everyone but Molden. Or, excuse me, everybody but Geldern, rather.
Yeah.
As you guys get to basically just like a tangle of willow trees growing by the shores of a small lake. A lot of them have been pretty badly burned. There's also kind of like all of the houses in Hergstog right now are pretty run down. But this one looks like it started as a shack and then ran down from there. There are a lot of spent torches all over the place. Pretty clearly something was living here. And then, like, the villagers tried to burn it. All of you find it at the same time as you're looking around, except for Geldern, of course. As you're looking around the burnt remains of the shack and like going through torches and things, there's a Taldan poetry book of all the things. It's pretty badly burnt. Most of the pages are now just like crumbly black sadness, but it's very clearly at one point in time it was a poetry book. It is the only thing, I won't say of value, but the only thing like of note in the ruins.
That's odd.
Maybe the Bob was learning poetry since maybe he lived in this shack.
Considering that's what it sounds like it's very much based off of R.L. Shelley's Frankenstein, and that's kind of what the monster was reading, learned from poetry.
Yep. This is the Frankenstein's monster one.
Hmm.
I guess on that note, the perception checks were really good. The shack is bigger than the houses are. which is pretty evident to you guys that means it was the like something big was living here. Perhaps the beast.
Oh.
That's an educated guess,
Yeah.
because we knew he was in this area.
Hmm.
It
I
seems
thought
like they tried to
that
burn
also
it.
explains
Oh,
why they burned it down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the beast is literature. Is literate, so it reads books. Maybe.
More intelligent.
I mean, we already knew it could speak, but apparently it might also be able to read and write.
This would help prove that it's intelligent, but
Well,
that might not help our case. It's already intelligent enough to get a trial.
Well,
just
the
look at
trial is
different
pretty much.
torches.
yeah.
Just look
I
how
mean,
many there are. Like someone went to burn this beast out.
Or lots of someone's, more likely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a mob.
Well, certainly shows that he wasn't popular wherever he was. I guess it's pretty much the people in these parts of the lands are rather racist. I
Yeah,
can somewhat understand them. When something goes south and you have a giant monster living in your town, you do expect the giant monster to be at fault first.
yeah. And I
Especially
think,
since there's rates that even we just released.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Maybe
think
let's
with,
admit that part.
yeah, I think with what,
I think
With-
that could be difficult if you want to present the evidence of a body that was killed by Wraith and the ectoplasm. I mean,
Oh, I'm just saying we don't have to say that we didn't kill all the spawn first. We don't have
We
to
can
say that we
say-
did, but
we can say we
Well-
killed that one spawn.
well, we said they
Yeah.
ran away and we had barely any vision, so we couldn't really do much, especially because we had to head back for the trials. We were like, hey, well, if you extend the trial duration by like several weeks, I guess we could hunt them down.
They're not
Yeah,
going to try to
that's
set a
fair.
trial. That's just not going to happen.
No.
Well, then it's on them.
It's on them.
Maybe
Yes.
Bob could follow us after once we get him out of the. He's had a bad life, it seems, wherever he goes. I think he'll be accepted with us.
I mean, we've had kind of a rough go of the things as we've been going too. Just saying, he might not be better off with us.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Also, so far, it kind of seems like he's more of like the gentle beast type, and we are murdering things. A lot of things.
No, if it's
I
already
think he's more of
dead.
the trying to be
Okay.
beast type, not necessarily gentle beast type. He's trying to be gentle beast type. I mean, he's still a big creature that might accidentally kill something by accidentally hugging it too tight.
Yeah. That's true.
Like
Well,
mice and men.
but still, pretty much so
Accurate.
far what we have done is put the undead to rest.
The Pharasmans ought to be thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably like honorary members of the Church of Pharasma at this point.
Something like.
Yeah, might have to talk that over with Father Grimborough,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I was just about to say that it might even out with us like grave robbing. Even though I still don't think that counts as quite counts as grave robbing because you were robbing a fake grave. I mean, does that count?
True.
If it's not a real grave and you rob it, does that count?
No,
I mean,
not in my books.
There was never a corpse in there, so we didn't desecrate it or anything.
We were this is basically raiding a weapons cast they did not even know existed.
And they were all a little
Yeah,
possessed at
yep.
the time, so. Out to get you.
I think
Okay.
we should now head, once we get all these houses explored, head towards the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
These like 4 here.
So
We'll
those
run to the
houses
hills.
all again have a run for your life. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Pretend I didn't do that. Up the hill you go, and if you guys can make a perception check.
27.
Oh, that hill.
That hill.
Yeah, the big spirals.
Yeah, it's
There's more
topography.
than one
Oh
big
yeah,
spire.
it's you totally sees the hill.
That's Lulu.
Got
Okay,
it.
Lulu.
So,
Lulu sees a lot.
as usual.
Well, she can fly, so her vision is probably not impaired by all the grass.
Yeah.
You mean
Also-
corn?
It's dark,
Yeah.
right?
Corn is a kind of grass, and it's dark, yeah. So her perception is
Yeah.
better.
No, that's mine.
Ah, yes, correct.
Mine
Anyway.
is better. Lulu's is the same.
Good. So as you guys are making your way, woo, up the hill, it kind of, I won't say it jumps out at you, but it kind of like jumps out, this rotting scarecrow. This time very clearly as you're pushing through the corn, it's a scarecrow leaning on. You could probably take the scythe and take it to a smith and maybe have a somewhat working farm implement at some point, but it's been exposed to the elements for so long that it's all rusty and sad. But somehow it's still supporting this scarecrow that's like its weight has fallen on it at the like the top of a really not the tallest hill in the world, but it's sitting at like right at the top. Its face is made from a pumpkin, which is at this point has long gone to rot, but it still seems to like leer in your all's direction. Malden
I'm
knows
detecting undead.
it's not undead at all.
Okay.
Is
well,
it
you-
alive?
Yeah, it's not alive. It doesn't move. It doesn't. This is Halloween. Nothing happens. Malden knows exactly where to look. Malden's been here, but the rest of you find it pretty quickly. There being just right under that scarecrow. There's a small, like 10-foot in diameter cave. And in that cave, of course, looking down and now being able to see, because there's no corn in the cave, but there are the skeletal remains of 4 children.
I take a deep breath in and out. No corn.
Well, it'd be a good idea to examine the bodies to make sure that to see how they were killed. If they were killed by wraith marks or whatever.
Give me a heal check.
Big old creature that
So you're basically looking to see if they weren't crushed to death, type of a
and
thing?
I will definitely be asking others that have heal checks as well to be like, hey, maybe make sure that these weren't crushed to death and killed by wraiths instead.
Yeah, no.
There we go with the
As-
heal check.
Assyria is very sure. Any like crushing damage they've taken appears to have been from perhaps maybe like a fall into the cave. As in like the kids are playing on the hill, don't realize there's a hole, walk forward, fall down. It's they're skeletal, but they're not skeletons. They have some like desiccated flesh on them, and desiccated it truly is, as if they had been drained to death. It's pretty staggering evidence that the kids were killed by a wraith.
All right, so that seems like we should probably take these bodies with us and then give them a proper burial at the end of this trial.
Fair enough.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I think we have enough evidence right now, guys, and we should head back if we're going to take these bodies, just to make it back in time.
If you were to head back right now, it's pretty late, but assuming you guys like maybe not necessarily slept in your armor, but like if you slept in the courthouse, you would probably be able to get 8 hours sleep before the next day. That said, there is still as we can now tell from seeing the entire map, there's a lot of the village left to check.
Yeah.
I can actually keep watch 3 of us. So
That
actually, I
spell
can
is
do all
so
of us.
good. That spell is just the best.
So we can all stay in our armor and everything. We can all just stand up and keep watching. We rest.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a enough? Like, if we set some more houses, we wouldn't be able to get our 8 hours rest.
You could. Let me look at the map as it appears in the AP, because I can see the whole damn thing if I look in the book, and I can extrapolate. Y'all have gone. You could probably get, I'll say, about up to here. Like, those two houses are where you start to hit, like, the point of no return. Where, like, you would be able to get back to Lepidstadt, clean up a little bit, get a couple hours of shut-eye, so you're not, like... You won't get HP or spell slots back, but you'll be at least not falling asleep standing up before the trial.
And we'll look at least somewhat presentable than washing up after going through corn.
Yeah, you guys are probably cut head to foot. Yeah.
I think we should do that then. I ask the others, though. Their opinions.
Well,
I mean, we
what
definitely want to
happens-
heal up, so...
Yeah, because there might be.
I mean, what
another-
happens if something else?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we have enough evidence or not, but...
Actually, really quickly,
to Mount Communal, so I can boost our speed.
before we do that, also, you guys, you don't have to make a check to remember. We had a week off, but I will say you found 4 bodies. The beast was accused of killing 6 children.
Huh. Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
do I know of any other bodies?
Well, there's the man's body that we found.
Yeah.
And you remember the beast crying about someone named Elsa.
And you said it
Yeah.
sounded like we had 5 voices. I remember you said.
Right. And you
Well,
guys
and
and you fought
killed
and
one.
killed one. Right.
So they're all wraiths. If we want to say we let those wraiths go, we can't use it in court.
Yeah, that one becomes not only, like, on the one hand, it's hearsay. No one was there to see the wraiths take off, so they can't prove it. And on the other hand, you just released a bunch of wraiths into Usulov.
Prove it!
Kinda.
What?
The Pharasman
What do-
cleric will certainly be perturbed.
Yeah.
I don't think that
I
was
mean-
usable.
We were attacked by Wraith. We murdered the Wraith.
Oh,
I
we
mean,
defended ourselves.
Yeah.
And actually, on that note, also, I don't remember who. I think I hit Geldern and Theo, and I think that's it. If you have Constitution Drain on you, be honest. But also, that's, like...
I have.
I think I hit Geldern pretty hard. I think Geldern has a lot of con drain on him right now. I think.
You did?
Like, between last session and today, I think I hit somebody for all 4. I forget who. The point is, if you've taken more than, like, 1 or 2, that will physically show
Okay.
Evidence!
that you were attacked by a wraith or something that would drain Constitution, yeah. I guess we'll have to go back and watch the last episode of Carrion Ground and figure out who got con drained where.
No, I don't think I was hit at all by the
I don't
wraith.
think you... No, I'm doing negative energy damage. I don't want to hit you at all.
Didn't we visit this house?
Can you ping it one more time? I wish you could. Can you hold down shift and ping? I want to see if you can move the map. Guess not. Okay. Yeah. Keep pinging. We're playing Look for Purple.
I got an idea.
Lol.
You could draw something over what
Yeah.
you're pinging.
That would be... Yeah, hold up. Let me do that really quickly. You guys, your search
Giant
pattern...
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we did look in that house.
Yeah, we
you guys
did.
have searched those houses. I made it go really fast because there's nothing in them.
But there's a thing there.
Right, that's one of the wraith spawn. I made it visible.
Oh,
You would have been attacked there had you guys not 2-shot the wraith. So that's the thing.
It wasn't on purpose. I'm sorry.
I forgive you. I'll put all the wraiths on the token layer so you can see all the ambushes that I had planned. Oh well. So what's the call, guys? Do we want to search a little more in Hergstag, or do we want to head out now?
I'm letting the casters decide which ones they get their spell slots.
I mean, I've only used 2 summons so far. So I mean, I have all my spells still, really.
I think Robin has most of his too.
Yeah.
More.
I mean, we didn't really fight that much.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
not
I really
really.
only used one spell, so
Yeah.
Keep searching.
yep.
All right, let's do the one plan where we just have enough time to clean up.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
In that case, you guys make your way up. This time, actually, it's just those two houses. Really, are the only ones that we are super worried about now. We'll start. Do you want to start with the one on the left or the right? I'm talking
left.
about these two, for the record.
The blues,
Yeah.
the blue houses.
Uh huh.
Let's
I'll
go.
live left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys get to that house, and that house appears to be, despite the fact that you can look at it very clearly, there's a hole in the ceiling. It appears to be in better condition than all the other houses in Hergstag. The door, a lot of the doors in these places are just kind of like falling off their hinges and rotten, and in general sad. The door to this one is shut and barred.
I look to the rogue. Can you use your masterwork thieves tools here?
You guys can tell the door, in fact, has been nailed shut.
Oh.
Good shot.
Then we will use the superior thief tools called magic missiles.
The
to
door
open
explodes.
This lock.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, we can tell they weren't using mithril nails.
So, inside, go ahead and make perception checks, if you guys would.
After blowing up the door,
Yeah.
Gelden makes an inviting motion. It's like, go
Daddy.
in.
So as you guys are walking in, the first thing you notice is, well, not
I
Geldern.
don't notice.
Geldern's just proud of his handiwork. The first thing y'all notice
There
is
we go.
the
That's for Theo.
the walls outside of the house. They show no marks and are very, like, it would be almost impossible to climb these things unless you had like a spider climb cast on you. The house itself, as you move in, is very neat and tidy. All of the food has been removed, but there's very clearly like a kitchen and a dining room. Upstairs there are 2 bedrooms, and one of those bedrooms is clearly the bedroom of a little girl. The window out is shut, and it appears to be unmarked in any, short of like some dust. Nothing bad has happened to it, and the window is shut and it's locked from the inside with a really stout latch. And the window shuts from the inside, so there would have been no way to get in the house, basically.
But you said there's a big hole in it?
No, it looks like there's a hole on Roll20. The house is fine. I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let's zoom in. Let's examine the clues. I can find my mouse. There we go. Whoop 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 whoop. Wubba lubba dub dub.
Haha.
Alrighty. I zoomed in too far. Now it's just pixelated. Oop, 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 oop. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Oh well. In any case, there's nothing of value in the house. The only thing notable is that it's in one piece, minus the door.
Okay, then. So, how did someone... There's no bodies in here. It's locked off from... Was it nailed from the inside by the looks of it?
It looks like it was nailed from the outside.
They wanted to keep whatever was in here.
Possibly. Or it might have just been they were protecting the house from looters. As if someone wanted to, like, come back. So they locked up, basically.
And there's nothing in here, like when we search it.
Nothing at all. Well, that's probably not true. You could probably find some, like, general house stuff, but that's it.
I would like to look for a diary, a journal, stuff like that.
Give me a perception check if you would, Chewie.
All right. The 30.
Dang.
Man, Chewie, on a roll. Okay, so yes, you do find one. I'm trying to... There we go. Okay, so... The journal was written by clearly the man in the house. It appears that this was the home of... You don't get like a family name, but there was a daughter named Karen. And she died in her bed. As you flip through like the end of the journal, where they start talking about how there's some bits about how like the beast is here, and there's bits about a big stranger who clearly is molded from the way they're describing him, and then there's bits about how like the beast was driven from town, and then a couple days later the entry is that Karen had died in her bed. Something about how they heard screaming by the time they got up to the child's room, which, again, there's no visible means of entry at all. The child had died.
This will help us with proof, guys. There's no
Yeah.
way in. The Wraith can go through, is incorporeal. It could go through walls.
Also,
And the beast was. It says that the beast was scared away from the place. So
Yeah,
exactly. It says that the beast was driven out of town and the death happened after. So that's another point of truth.
this is written proof. So
This is quite useful because
Put
was
it in
just
the
about to say-
bag of holding, and
Yeah.
don't let go of it.
with all the dead bodies.
Yeah.
That also,
we found that.
it also
What?
notes, the journal does, that they buried Karen at the Church of Desna, which is apparently just up the road. There's entries talking about how they liked being in the shadow of the church and so on and so forth.
Oh man.
And we found 5 bodies. There's the 6th one.
4 bodies.
Yeah,
Oh, 4
the only problem that I'm seeing is, guys, you don't want to go and get that body, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh no, we have. I don't think we need it.
We have the journal.
Okay.
We're not going to exhume a little girl's body. If it's
The most we could do is go to the gravestone.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure that you don't want to dig up the body just so that you can prove that she was energy drained.
I don't want to dig up the body, but we could go up there and put a piece of paper on the gravestone and etch the markings into it, like name, birth, to help prove that she's buried there. You all know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
you take a
Yeah.
piece.
You
Okay.
just make a quick
Oh.
rubbing of it.
How far away is
Yeah,
it?
sure.
Doesn't sound like it's super far.
Yeah.
Since the house is in the shadow of the church.
Mhm.
Oh, the house is. Okay.
And I'm going to go to the church and etch in her name at her gravestone on a
Okay.
piece of paper.
You've rolled good enough survival checks both to find the church and to not wander off over here into, of all the things we were going to do in Carrion Crown, the quicksand that was all over this part.
Oh no.
And if Justin is watching this, he is now very afeared. And I don't blame him, because he had a really bad go of Doomsday Dawn. But he wasn't attacked by wraiths while he was stuck in the quicksand. Okay, so yeah, there's the chapel itself is not very big, just a small, like, whitewashed timber building surrounded all around by gravestones. As you go looking around, the pews are already overgrown. Some of the windows are smashed. There are mice actively nesting in the altar. There's a font where, like, there's clearly water in the font, but it's starting to turn gross and greenish. And there are once upon a time, the frescoes depicting Desna in the heavens were probably really beautiful. Now they're just, like, flaking and sad. You do, in fact, find 6 graves. Right next to the girl's name is Karen. There is Elsa's grave, and then 4 other children. The dates match up with the exception of with the exception of Karen's, they all match up to when the beast was here supposedly to have killed them. And On a further note, 4 of the graves, as you guys go looking around, they very clearly lie open, and there's nothing in them.
Okay.
So does that mean that the last body is in the proper grave?
That
Yep.
would seem to track, yeah. Without exhuming them, it's hard to say, but
We probably shouldn't exhume it unless we really want to. But
Which
yeah.
I don't want to.
And let me get a quick religion check from you guys.
reloading. Roll 20.
So I saw.
Ah, I know nothing.
Not at all.
The bodies go in the ground, and it makes the gods happy.
Eh,
Yes, it does.
yes, it does. Molden is good enough. So the only clue is a harsh word. In a sense, the children, though it would be super frowned upon in court to do this, and if you were to do it and something were to go mechanically bad over it, then the court would be upset. But technically, speak with dead on one of the bodies would, like, you would be able to hear from the kid what happened. With that in mind, only one of the wraith spawn was destroyed. So you would, you remember that particular wraith spawn appearing male. So you have about a 50-50 shot, because it's hard to tell at this point of like desiccation without like really high heal checks like whether it was a male or female child that had died, and then like do you have the right one who's attached to that soul, or will the spell fail because there's a wraith running around.
Yeah, and well, we could roll the heal checks to see if we can figure out, because the bone structures are different.
That is true. With that in mind, there are. It's still like you could find a male child, but it might not necessarily be the male child to whom that wraith spawn was destroyed.
Yeah,
There are a
could've
couple
been another
barriers
one
to cross.
that I haven't been here.
Precisely, yeah.
It's a risky gamble, guys. I think we should save it in our back pocket if things go south.
And to do that
I
would
think it's
mean
very
to
risky.
carry the bodies.
I mean, don't we have the bodies in the bags anyways?
Yes, you do. Fair enough.
I mean, we were going to, use them as evidence anyways, I thought. And
Okay.
then bury them, or
Exactly, give them proper
Correct.
burial. Like, currently they were like laying in a hole.
Yeah.
That's not a good
were.
resting place.
I mean, we could try a heal check on the bodies that we do have, and then because we have 3 of the bodies, we know. So if we could identify those, we could infer what the other one would have to be. Because we also know that the Elise was a female.
That is very true.
I'm willing to heal with a not a natural, but an altogether 20.
That's good enough. You can tell that as you get the bodies out of the bag of holding, you have 3 male and 1 female.
Our odds are not in our favor, guys.
Exactly.
Don't talk to this one, as I hand them the female skull.
I don't think we should talk to any of them, but I just think it's too risky in general.
It should be our last ditch effort.
Yeah, and what happens if they're like, oh, and you killed the master wraith and let a bunch of wraiths go?
Yeah.
That isn't necessarily going to affect the trial, but it will cast you guys. Like, it paints not a good picture with you guys in it.
Yeah, Wraiths.
Well, how can they tell the difference between us killing the main wraith and us killing one of the spawns?
If it...
They can't.
We have ectoplasm, and we say that they were wraith. You don't need to say that we killed the main one and set the rest free.
Yeah, but the thing is, there are clerics that probably know about wraiths.
I mean, we did kill one spawn, right?
Yes, one spawn,
Yeah.
one wraith.
Yeah. I mean,
We just don't have to say how many we killed. We can just say
Yeah,
we
we-
killed
Exactly. We can tell a white lie. We can say that we killed a wraith spawn, which we did. We just omit that we also killed the main one and forgot the rest.
that we did not know where the others were if they bring it up because we didn't. We just heard things, and then we
just started screaming.
and then we were looking for them, but we found the bodies. It was too dark to tell what direction they went in, and their fadings and their laughs were fading into the distance.
Yep, I'm not talking. You guys have fun with this one.
I'm not talking. Go, Gildan.
I
I'll
am not
talk
talking during the trial.
I'll talk if they need
Yes.
knowledge of undead.
You know,
Oh, man.
I might be able to spend a use of fly to figure out perhaps if there might be other clues somewhere nearby.
At this point, even with flying, you guys are starting to hit the point of no return. If you don't start heading back to Lepidstadt now, it's going to come to a point where, like, the defense is all going to be super tired. And to add, I won't say insult to injury, but to complicate the matter, Molden knows that Molden has been called as a witness because Molden was here.
Oh, yeah. True. Well,
Let's
I guess
head back,
Molden
guys.
has to talk.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see the
I'm
happiness in
screwed.
your face.
All I have is intimidation, so this is going to be really rough.
Contempt of
Intimidate
court.
the audience.
Okay.
Let's
well,
head back,
if-
y'all.
If he asks you a question that you don't want to answer, just glare at him real hard.
Sternly, one might say.
I actually did 4 points in diplomacy and bluff.
All right. Once we leave the house, Gelden conjures up some mounts with Mount Communal.
And I use
Giddy
my
up.
relentless band to make us. We can basically do an 8-hour march without feeling the negatives of it.
Fair enough. It's definitely not
And then-
8 hours back to Lepidstadt. It's more like 2 or 3.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I can do keep watch for us so that we don't have to sleep.
And that
So
is
And we
super
probably
still
use
technically get
keep
rest.
watch on the casters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not used my abilities, so I do not need to
One
sleep.
keep watch is free. So
Yeah, that is.
You can
best
cast
spell.
keep watch on me since I started out my spell slots.
Okay.
that works.
So I'm gonna double check really quickly. I forget
Yeah,
how
go.
this works.
Gelden turns to Syria. Once this trial is over, please cure me from this energy drain. For now, it's just additional proof, but I'm feeling like, you know,
That might be beyond
I'm
my
feeling like
abilities.
horse manure.
We can ask the clerics to help us.
Ability
After.
You're the-
ability
you're the
drain
one
can
who
be
was,
healed over, like, if she could cast. You would need true restoration, but restoration
Oh,
could do
jeez.
it.
I have lesser restoration.
is
Which
good
game?
also?
Just looking really quickly. Damage is damage can be healed through these spells. So I'm pretty sure. I may be wrong on this, but I think drain doesn't heal on its own.
I don't think
I
it does
can
either.
improve fatigue though, and the exhausted condition.
Unfortunately, that probably won't be anything we're handling today. Because you guys do get back in time, and with keep watch and mounts, you guys can kind of like rest. Yeah, I know Achilles. The part of oh God, who is Achilles? The beast will be played by Achilles today. Like,
Wow.
hey, buddy.
I think they use some cat folk parts and
That's
Bob.
perfect.
Yeah,
Could
that is-
ever
That fuck is racist. You're a racist.
oh, I forgot their actual name to be out of game.
Amurin.
Me too.
Amurin? I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but in any
He
case,
has some Amurin in him.
is there anything you guys? You don't have all the time in the world. Hey, buddy. Anything you guys want to do in Lepidstadt as you arrive before the trial begins? Before day 2 of the trial begins, rather.
We could ask Bob if he's seen wraiths and describe a wraith before.
Also, I think this is the second time that we have something death related. Can wraiths be created by necromancers? Here's the first time we had something that pointed towards necromancy.
Make a religion check.
Religious people, answer me.
Religious people, answer me.
Maybe?
Yeah, Molden is like, yep, that would fall in monster lore. Yes, a wraith can be. Typically speaking, a wraith is created when someone dies and is super, super, like, angry or hateful, usually in the moment of death. But yeah, certainly if, for the same reason, well, Emmy was in the party with a necromancer for a while, a long, long time ago. She and I were, and that necromancer wanted to create a banshee at like level 6. You guys were gonna die so hard because they couldn't keep control of it and it was gonna wail everyone to death, but it didn't. Yes, a necromancer could create a wraith. The necromancer would have to, because the wraith is intelligent, find some way to bind it, or like mechanically there are checks every day to, right, and the wraith, I know, and the wraith could break out.
I mean,
but whether or not this wraith specifically was created by a necromancer is hard to say.
Yeah, you all didn't let me talk to him before you killed him.
You didn't have a lot to say.
I had bees.
Mm-hmm.
He was a beekeeper before he died.
Well,
In life, he was a beekeeper.
Tried to drain me to death, though I kind of acted quickly there. Wanted to put a stop to that.
So
Yeah.
who was the poor soul that we found trapped in the bear trap?
Hard to say.
Maybe a someone trying to rob the houses while the robbing's good.
That's possible.
Maybe.
Bandit.
Or just your average of adventurer.
One ill-prepared to be taken down by a simple bear trap.
Probably more than
Well,
that. It very well
getting
could have
stuck
been
in a bad trap and
while
attacked
being chased by wraiths, and then you don't see it and you get stuck, and then here are a bunch of things you probably can't harm. Okay. So then, again, anything else you guys want to do in Leopard Stop before day 2 of the trial? I guess I should turn off the spoopy. Be gone, spoopy noises! Shush!
I will take a triple espresso. Ready for the trials.
Okay. I think actually that sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie. Chewie, go make me a triple espresso.
Okay.
If you can get me regular Starbucks in Kansas City from Kentucky, I will count that as a lot of patronage. If you can just be my Starbucks hookup, I mean, that is totally fine with me. I have a chemical dependency. So, if Geldern could make a fortitude save.
Alright. I will be so great at that with my currently drained constitution.
Can I do a heal check to make it easier?
No.
Okay, let's see. My level.
Can I get him chicken noodle soup to help it?
To help his chemical dependency on caffeine now.
8.
So, Geldern, that's the best coffee you've ever had in your whole life.
Oh, that's what he was rolling it for.
That's a minor addiction. Fortitude DC 12. And it is the best tasting coffee you've ever had in your whole life. And we go to the trial. Okie dokie. So, day 2 of the trial is a lot. Everyone is a lot more involved the morning of day 2, shall we say. There are, as you guys are there first, and as the mob, don't read too much into the word mob, but as the mob funnels in, the buzz, not of a wraith, but like of people talking in the courtroom is just like, it is super alive. Everyone is all over the place talking about what's going on. And basically, as soon as 10 o'clock rolls around... Oh my god.
Do we hear any people that sounds like they're on our side?
Actually, give me some perception checks. Theo noticed this, but Malden wasn't here last time, so I'll roll it again. Yeah, Chewie. Everyone actually notices, like, front of especially Malden. Malden is on a swivel right now. Just sitting in the front row center of the courtroom today is our old friend who's become the sheriff, Gibsif Ennis, Sheriff of Ravengrow. His badge has been polished. He actually looks like someone has taken effort to clean him up. His hair looks a lot better than it ever has. He's for once wearing clean clothes. He even looks maybe kind of sober, maybe. It's at least he's not staggering, and he's got just like the biggest poop-eating grin that you've seen. And he notices Malden looking at him, and he just kind of smiles, waves, smiles even bigger. He's still, his badge of office is worn on top of Edgar's old armor, which he sees Edgar looking, and he the armor doesn't have a collar to pop, but he pops his collar just like in your direction.
It is an armored coat.
No,
My old armor was, so it may have one.
oh, good. Then I'm wearing a tank top right now, so I can't. I'll try. I don't have a collar to pop. There we go. We did it. Achilles is biting my heel. It's time for the trial, Kitty. So first witness is called. It is not Malden. It's an old woman. Malden recognizes her. The name isn't coming to mind as the prosecution begins asking her, well, what happened? Oh, it must have been 7 months ago. That thing, and she points at the beast, and everyone, as that happens, slew 6 children, and we drove it from the village. Fortunately, we called in I don't remember the name. Some religious order was supposed to send someone to help, but they didn't do anything. We had to drive the beast out ourselves. Over the course of that, the prosecution calls 3 more witnesses. The witnesses they appear to be sisters. They look real close, physically to each other, and they all line up. I know. And they give similar testimonies of events. The judge eventually turns to you guys as prosecution sits down. If you guys would like to cross-examine or present any evidence, now's the time.
All right.
I think
Oh,
we
up to
should
you guys.
cross-examine and see if there were any actual witnesses to the murders themselves, or if it was
Good
just
idea.
hearsay.
You say this, well, they died, and the beast, we knew he was stalking the hinterlands outside of Hergstag. They don't, they seem to try to dodge the question, basically.
The hinterlands outside. Are you sure it wasn't by the lake?
Ah, yes, the lake. That's where we found the lair of the beast. Burned him out real good, didn't we? And some of the sisters turn and nod very proud and chest puffed out at the notion that they were able to run off this hulking brute.
At this point, I pull out the book of poetry and set it on the table.
Okay.
Now it smells burnt in here.
And
I don't know if you guys could hear that siren just now, but what just happened was a police officer turned on their sirens to run a red light.
That's funny.
What? I definitely heard my name there.
No, funny, not
Oh,
Tommy.
I thought I heard shush Tommy. Like, oh, what? The
No, I
cops are
think
coming
that's
for me.
funny.
It is funny. It's hilarious. Any case, uh, the poetry book is brought out. Yeah, must have been there. Must have got burnt. It looks horrible. But it doesn't really seem to make any traction anywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
Not yet.
it's not hard evidence in any direction. At best, it shows that the beast isn't as uncultured as the people here think.
Of course. And
I mean, even if you have the most well-cultured murderer ever, it's still a murderer, so that wouldn't sway that much, I think.
do you recall, did you attend any of the funerals?
I did.
Were any of them open casket?
She shakes her head. And you would actually, like, what you just said doesn't affect the diplomacy checks or anything, but open casket funerals are incredibly uncommon in Ustalav. Think, I won't say everyone gets a Grafdigger's cage, but, like, coffins are generally sealed in case of coming back as a zombie.
Mm-hmm. So,
And were there any times in which you had perhaps seen the bodies at some point? Perhaps witnessed the outcome of the brutalities?
Shakes her head.
Oh, there's the morticians, I say to... remind you that when any morticians have the bodies, you can ask her. Entire thing to prepare them for the dead. For their eternal resting place.
Okay. It had not come out between here and the start of the trial when I asked you guys what you wanted to do. So as far as I'm aware, the bodies are in the back of holding now.
yeah. I mean, we do it like magic tricks. We pull one of the evidence after the other out of our...
Pull a dead child out of my hat.
Well, that probably freaks people out, but I guess that's how you do it. That's how we roll, yeah.
So, ma'am, did the morticians prepare the bodies for the funeral, or did you have the bodies to prepare?
Hergstog's not big enough for a mortician, sonny. Usually it's up to the family. Someone at the church will make sure the coffin is sound, and we put them in the ground.
But was there a body in the coffin?
So far as I'm aware, yes.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm. By the way, are any of the affected parties around for the trial? Any of the families whose children died?
It's possible, but you're not sure. Okay. None of the witnesses are. The witnesses are just residents from the town.
Okay, that probably means they aren't, because I assume that those would have made better witnesses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gildan, should we start presenting our evidence, or still cross-examine?
I think we
Perhaps
should
start with the journal.
Yeah.
It's almost concrete.
Yeah, the defendants like to show some evidence that supports our
findings.
That the defendant is in fact innocent of the crime that he's being accused of, and I show the journal saying we found these in the house. I think that was the mayor's house or something?
That was the beast's hut that he was living in.
The journal.
No, the journal.
Oh, the journal. Excuse me. Yeah, that was. It wasn't the mayor's house. It was the house of one of the kids who died.
Yeah, it was some nice house, right?
Yeah.
It was under the shadow of the church,
and it hadn't been broken into like a lot of the other houses had been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I present the book and I start reading some of the passages for the courtroom, especially those about how they drove out the beast, and after that, the child died, even though it was in a room where no one could get in, and even once they broke in, there was like no sign of anyone breaking in before they broke down the door.
Okay. Give me a diplomacy check.
Okay. Okay. I haven't rolled one yet this session. Let me quickly check. Okay. So that's that. 26.
And you're carrying what is very, very convincing evidence, and the crowd
Very
gets
what? You
quiet.
cut out.
Oh, sorry, very convincing evidence.
Okay.
The journal that's proof that the beast was not responsible for at least one of the killings. The crowd gets real silent at this. One of the sisters just kind of, I know. She turns into a cat, and everything is bad. Roll for initiative. She's a cat.
Geldern turns to Siri. Could you translate that for me?
Achilles, we're trying to play some Pathfinder. Shush, little one. I just gotta scratch him behind the ear, and he'll be quiet for the last hour. She gets real quiet when you say that. You have very convincing proof that she might not necessarily be lying, but she is telling a very condensed version. Achilles, a very condensed version of what went on.
Someone seems offended by
Assyria is pissed.
Heavy.
Assyria is so mad.
So, how dare you say that I condensed this and may have lied? Meow.
They have not just told the full truth.
Yeah, pretty much. They are telling their version of events. Their version of events doesn't know, there's obviously some information they didn't have. And they didn't try to go find it because they had a really good scapegoat, I'll say.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything you want to put forth before those guys?
Yeah, I think
The vial.
Yeah, the vial with the ectoplasm, and I talk about how found the corpses and how they were drained of energy, and I also show myself and how withered I'm currently looking. That we had a run with a wraith, and you can show them that you do get start looking withered when they start to drain you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is going to be so loud. There's no other way to do it. Forgive me, internet. You bring out the bodies of the children. It gets really, the crowd picks back up again when that happens. There's people start screaming about desecration, and nothing bad comes of it, but there is a cleric of Pharasma in the room.
We do say that we found them down in a hole, not in any graves, so they were properly put to rest, which is why we took them with us. So
It should be a proper priest, and none of us are ordained priests.
And diplomacy check from Geldern again.
Yep. Come on, roll well. Oh, yes, killing it.
You are, and having those bodies gives you a. I'll just tell you if I can find it. I'm just making noises now. Recovering the bodies of the four children. Plus 10, so Geldern has a 40. It only needed a 20. The clerics in the room that are detect magicking, and I'll say it. I know Molden wasn't here last time, or the last day of court. So I will say that Molden knows that any magic in court is strictly, if you were to Oath of Anonymity, you guys could all get kicked out. Even something as simple as guidance would be enough to where people are oh, magic, oh. But there are a couple of clerics there to detect magic in the room and also preserve the sanctity. And the Pharasman comes down and she can confirm everything that Geldern is saying. Actually, on that note,
how do degrees of success work? Is that like 4 degrees of success because I'm 20 points higher for every 5?
If this was second edition, you would have double crit.
I can also add my assessment of the bodies and who they might have belonged to.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
So-
since it's working so well, we shouldn't mention anything as like casting talk with undead. Because that's
We
not.
didn't do that, but we did.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we should probably keep
No.
that to ourselves because
Yeah.
people don't like that here.
And
Mm-mm.
as the priest comes down, she pulls from her pocket a pouch that has diamond dust in it, and she puts it on her hand and begins incanting, and people start, oh, magic! And she steps up and just, no, this man is hurt. This man could have lost his life. And she puts her hand on Geldern's forehead and begins praying, and a restoration is cast on Geldern.
Yes!
As well as anyone else who might have any con drain, it goes around and everybody goes back to full. There's a bit of a hullabaloo. That's obviously a very unorthodox thing to happen in court, but it's a very extreme issue. You're obvious. What was your con at when I cast that on you?
My con. I think I was drained once last session and once this session, so I was at 8.
Exactly. Like, you look sick. You could keel over, and if that truly was a wraith, they don't, like, you could in theory become a wraith spawn. So, Hull better. Hull is fixed.
Yes.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Any other bits of evidence you guys want to present?
I don't even know if we do, if you still have any.
The etchings of the graves as
Oh,
to
yeah.
who they were buried. That
Yeah,
one was buried.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it also says one when that person died, which also helps with the entries in the journal. Just supportive.
So one more
and we
diplomacy
should
check
mention
then.
that weren't some of the graves empty?
Right.
Like
They
were
were-
All of them were empty.
dug up?
Except one.
Except 2.
Right.
2 of them
Yeah.
were full, 4 of them were empty. You found the other 4 bodies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I thought my cat wanted in. I guess not. I'm just leaning and yelling really loud so I can come in. Hello. Okay. So if there's nothing else,
Yeah, I
I'll
think
just
that's probably the gist of it.
casually
Yeah.
mention how poor Bob here was driven out of the shack that was set up for him at the edge of town while he was learning to read poetry by an angry mob.
yeah, pretty much. Okay. So that happens. The witnesses from Hergzog go back, and the prosecution stands up again and just once again goes pacing around the room, and he turns and just, I call, and he points at Molden. I don't remember if I ever got a last name for Molden, but he uses it. If you have
Bolden
one.
does not have a last name.
I mean, I think most people don't have last names.
I have a last
Medieval
name.
times.
As do I.
As do you,
I.
as I think
Well-
Theo does too. But Molden being from the orphanage, yeah, no last name there. Okay, so
Well,
it calls Molden to the stand, begins,
I am an orphan too, so
yeah,
yeah, see?
begins pacing. Just, well, who are you? For that. So our fair citizens, and he turns, and I don't remember his voice, so we're just going to do another fantasy voice. He motions out to the crowd at large. So our fair citizens of Lepidstadt can know, who are you again? What is your profession?
I'm a molder. I am a molder.
And Boulder, this is a mistrial. Ha ha! And it's a TPK. We realize that
Molder.
he's.
Okay. I am Molden. I worked for the Church of Regathia.
I see. So you are not a barrister, and yet here you are conducting a trial. I'm sorry, forgive me. Who is Regathiel again?
Out of game, is he the goddess of stories and campfires and stuff like that, and
He's
fire?
the god of destruction and revenge.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you was. Oh no, I was thinking of his mom. Then okay, got him mixed up.
No, yeah.
Regathiel is not about the campfires. The campfires over like devil bodies,
Yeah.
perhaps.
On fire is the goddess I worship, Caronia, but yeah,
Okay,
was the bonfire with the stars over it.
Yeah, I thought you worshipped his mom.
I do worship his mom, but I worked for the Church of
Oh, okay,
Ragathiel,
that makes more sense now.
because that's who trained me technically, because Feronia doesn't have a strong enough following for any of that stuff. So.
Ragathiel is
Got
certainly
it.
the much more militant of the two deities.
Okay.
Exactly, and so that's who I work for, but I'm a follower, and I get my power from Feronia.
I understand now.
Yeah,
That's Ragathiel's mother, so
Indeed.
that's why they're tied.
So who is Ragathiel again? Can you please explain? We don't hear much about. Well, we have our love for Abadar building our walls, Pharasma protecting us from the dead, Desna lighting up the sky at night. I don't think I've ever heard of
Ragathiel is known as the Angel of Vengeance. I mean, what other name would I know him by?
He's known as the General of Vengeance.
General of
Yeah,
Vengeance.
the General
Indeed.
of Vengeance. He's the General of Heaven's
Army?
or is
I
it
think it's
Elysium?
No, you're right. It's Heaven. He's lawful good.
Yeah, he is lawful good. It is Heaven's Army. Yeah, he's the General of Heaven's Army.
I see. Actually, and he withdraws a pretty sizable tome here, and he begins flipping through it. As he opens it, you can see the bastard sword and wing crossed, Ragathiel's holy symbol. And it says here, before court, I decided I would pick this up. It says here he's the son of a devil? Is this true?
And he fights against that every day of his life.
Can you make a diplomacy check?
Can I make an intimidation check?
Yeah, you can intimidate him, sure. Why not?
because it's like you are insulting my religion.
Yeah.
You are getting the clap back.
How dare you insult a lawful good god?
The clerics speak up about that one too. The clerics are yes, he's Dispater's son, but he has served in the armies of heaven for longer than any of us have been alive. And Otto is his name, Otto Heiger. He sort of wilts a little as the look is turned upon him. All right, so be it. Far be it from me to judge any misgivings I might have had, of course. And he pushes.
How do you have the right to judge a god?
I don't judge the god. I judge the god's servant. And he turns to the judge. The witness is being very, very hostile. Good judge. And the judge does turn at you and give you I'll say a stern gaze. The judge is not an inquisitor, but
Well, thank God he's not a paladin. Because if you question just God that way as a paladin,
Smite!
I'd murder you on the spot.
And what were you doing in Hergstag during the events of the killings?
They requested aid from the Church of Ragathiel to find out what was going on there, and I was there to observe and report what was going on. And then the townsfolk wrongfully accused me of being a monster and tried to chase me out of town as well.
I see. And what purpose did you serve in your time in Hergstag? Were you able to find these wraiths? Were you able to find whatever it is that truly caused the murders of these poor, unfortunate souls?
Crap.
I do remember in your backstory, since I was there, that you saw one on the distance.
I do know that, but I don't know if I should say that that I saw already. I mean, because then it's like, why didn't you save the town? Why weren't all that shit?
Because I'm a level 1 inquisitor and I died.
Because I'm level 1, exactly. All right. All right. So yeah, I will there to observe and report. And what I did see was the wraith. Was a evidence of a wraith, and then the beast was being attacked by the villagers because of these wrongful accusations.
I see. Where is it your church is from again? I'm sorry.
Magnamar.
Magnum, that's very far from here. That's
It is.
far to the west. One would have to cross over the hold of Belkzen to get there.
What's that?
Dangerous traveling through orc lands. And we here in Ustalov remember when the orcs were led by the Whispering Tyrant into our lands. We may not have been here for it, but we know to watch our backs at night. So, you'll forgive me, friend, when someone who... And he tries to mock your stature. He stands up on tiptoes and puffs his chest out a little bit. When someone as big as you comes through, so obscured, can't even see your face. Friend, would you mind removing your hood? Would you please?
I do mind. I am not on trial here. I do mind removing my hood.
Make an intimidate check.
Make a what?
Make an intimidate check.
Glare even harder.
Otto turns to the judge and just, good sir judge, if he has nothing to hide, if anything, it's only proper to remove one's hat when they've come to court. Perhaps there's something like a vampire hiding under that hood. Matter of fact, they do appear. Is Chewie? Chewie does not hide Chewie's Dampier heritage.
I have a wig, is the only thing I use to hide. Since my species of vampires are bald.
And very old, and they seem to be very clearly traveling with the Dampier. Perhaps this is the one that sired him. And the judge calls him to a stop, and the clerics all they turn and they detect evil at you, and you don't ping. Right? You're not.
Yeah, I don't ping.
Not you. I'm talking about Molden. Molden who might be a vampire.
But I'm neutral good. So.
That's what I thought. I wasn't super sure. Okay. The judge turns, and there's a bit of a back and forth between them.
And I would ping neutral actually. I'd ping true neutral because of my god, the god I worship, right?
I know you would ping your alignment.
Okay.
But you don't ping his evil is the important part.
Yep.
So you don't ping period to detect evil. The judge turns and just, certainly he's not a vampire, but the prosecution makes a valid point, if you please.
Judge, I believe that doing such a thing to me would just make the court against me just because of my appearance.
And why is that?
Because I look hideous under here.
There's a bit of the judge himself is also he's got a bunch of boils on his face and stuff. And, I don't look my best either, and I showed up to work today. Please, friend.
Yes, but I don't look like you. I look worse than you.
I need to give an order for you to remove your hood. I will.
Fine, I will remove my hood. But if this has any bearings on the case, that will be your fault, Judge. An innocent creature to death because of your decision. I would like to roll intimidate on the judge.
I do hope that you don't cause panic and people trampling each other to death.
Demon! Okay. So, remind the audience again, what does Molden look like under the hood?
I have blue skin. So, if anybody knows Game of Thrones and the character that plays the Hound, I look like him without all the burns on the face. The hair also kind of retreating back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then my skin is all blue, and then I have a single horn out of the middle of my forehead.
And as Molden goes
it's not super long, 2 inches.
As Molden goes to remove the horn, you guys all
Thanks.
Time kind of slows down a little bit, and you guys hear the sound of a bell ringing somewhere off in the distance. Not in Lepid Stop, but in your minds, as another one of the wishes used in Doomsday Dawn will come to pass here.
Oh gosh.
Molden, as far as Molden remembers, skin has always been that color. I don't remember if anybody else has seen him without the hood on, but so far as any of you know, that's exactly Like, that is what he's always looked like.
He did it once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before.
And rather than blue, as he removes his hood, his skin it's closer, it's still like bluish, but closer to gray, the exact skin tone of the beast. Like, if you had to, like, CMYK it or get the dropper on Photoshop in 1:2, it would be a perfect replica. The
So like a bluish gray?
Yeah. The crowd, like, at this. And the prosecution just kind of turns, looks out at everybody. There's a pregnant pause. Turns back to the judge. Prosecution rests. The judge turns towards the defense. If the defense would like to cross-examine the... I picked up one of my patrons who's playing an Inquisitor of Abadar and Kingmaker as an attorney IRL, and I feel like I should have tagged him in for this. There's probably some kind of legal poo-poo by having the defense cross-examine the defense. But whatever, I'm not a judge, I'm a YouTuber. If the defense would like to examine the defense, that now's the time. Kangaroo court!
Technically, the defense can't be called into onto the stand is the way that usually works.
Whoopsie.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they can't technically be part of the defense type deal.
Special stuff,
Well.
fantasy, heroes, I don't know. It'd be fine.
Well, Geldon will then say, we just, while he does look scary, we just had the clerics test his alignment, and it clearly showed that he's on the spectrum of neutral good.
Actually, they did not detect good. They detected evil and got nothing. He could be
Okay.
chaotic neutral.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Is there just a detect alignment spell?
No, they just cast
No.
detect evil.
Okay. Yeah, well, it clearly showed that he is not evil. Actually, from the church that he's serving, it's clearly shown that he aligns with good. So I don't think we can actually. We should just assume that he's bad because of the way he looks. People are born a certain way. It's how people act that is the important part.
And can the court actually cast detect good then? Because if that thing is good,
I
detect good
will.
on there.
I'll roll for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have Geldern make a quick diplomacy check.
All right. Go on.
Okay. So there's a bit of that goes out over the crowd. The crowd gets quiet, except you can see Gibbs is like leaning forward out of the pew he's sitting in, like as if to jump over the rails. He is like ready to go, almost shaking to do so. The clerics turn and there's a bit of a discourse back and forth. One of them pulls a scroll, reads from it, and throws it out. And the cat is angry as I move my hands too much. They turn and they nod and they turn towards the judge. Actually, they would be able to do this. Okay. Judge, whatever the beast is, though he may have a similar coloration, that's not a beast, that's a tiefling. It's not his fault. It could have been an unfortunate accident several generations ago. It could have been something that happened to his parents. It could have been just a bit of bad luck. In any case, his intentions are pure. The crowd gets real quiet. Someone's having a good time outside my house. I need to put up those blackout curtains real bad. Are you seriously just gonna sit outside the window? I'll kill you. I won't. I'm not a bad person, but I'm tempted to. Okay, they went away. Good. Well done. I'm at work. This is a job. Any other questions for Molden?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I mean, you would probably ask about my what I saw during the, going through the town in the beginning and like how the village was was in an uproar about the beast, but the wraiths were there was evidence of wraith spawn, or wraiths, not wraith spawn. It's a wraith. That when I last saw the town, it was being attacked by wraiths.
Hmm.
And then that's all I remember right now.
Okay.
Want me to say that on the stand and actually have the evidence, but I would want it not what the prosecution says it, with the defense says it.
All right, yeah, I we'll probably bring that up, and maybe if you talk more about how the town didn't seem to be open to points that pointed to something else besides the beast being involved,
and that the beast was trying to the beast was
Bob.
trying to prove his innocence, but the townsfolk were attacking him.
Okay. One more diplomacy check then.
All right. Oh jeez, I think I will use my hero point to reroll it.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, roll.
Much better. Okay,
That's
cool.
better.
Okay. The crowd seems to, like, there's murmurs. The prosecution just kind of looks sulky. After that gets all done, prosecution stands up and I call the Honorable Sheriff of Ravengrove, Gibbs Hifenis, to the stand. And he stands up.
Ooh, sweet! I might cross-examine him.
He's been waiting this whole time, and he hears it. He just hop, and he makes his way up to the court and up to the stand. And the line of questioning from Otto does not have to start before he just immediately, oh yeah, I know all that. Assyria lived in Ravengrove for quite a while. Right there, the cat right there. We used to walk backwards to try to avoid the bad luck, but if you're asking me, I think they're all just thrown in with some kind of necromancy.
Objection.
Yes.
The beast is.
You cut out when you said what you were objecting over.
Yeah, objection. We're not on trial. The beast is on trial, not us. Anything he says about us is hearsay and should be inadmissible in court.
Intimidate check.
Yes.
Yes. I love that. It's like we're in court. And
I'm going to use my hero point.
Okay.
Hero point.
That's
Better.
Right.
Much better.
It's a lot better than a natural one.
Over sustained. Gibbs calms down a little bit. Please, good sheriff. Let me ask the question. We don't need to go pointing fingers at anyone. How is it that you say that you don't know, obviously you're not from here, you don't know anything about the individual on trial, but I think we all can agree the defense today, well, they aren't exactly normal members of the court here at Lepidstadt. They seem
Again, objection. You're leading the witness and going the wrong way. That is not. You cannot be saying this. That is completely against the rules.
Intimidate check.
That is against all that shit. Keep on trying to put us on trial.
Oh.
That one's much better. Okay, fair enough. Of course. Please forgive me. And Otto starts to try to say something else to pick back up into some other line of questioning, and at this point the Sheriff Hifenis just kind of stands up, gets off the stand, and moves towards the center of the pretty if the beast wasn't chained, he'd be within arm's reach of the beast as he moves down. He goes, "No, I will not be silenced. They all work with a necromancer. We saw Professor Lorimore's body wandered around the town." And the crowd all starts murmuring, and the judge tries to get order. It rapidly goes down to a mess really fast.
Right.
What is the necromancer's name? And what proof of necromancy?
Oh, don't ask this one question. I believe Gibbs is in violation of the court and needs to be removed immediately.
Scary check.
scary check.
As opposed to
roll a scary check.
roll a scary check. Woo!
Everything he said needs to be inadmissible.
And yeah, eventually it takes probably about 2 minutes for Molden's words to get over the sound of the chaos. The judge gets it down. Gibbs is escorted out by several armed men. If you guys could make a quick sense motive check.
Very much so. Very much so.
Could you make a sense drunk guy check?
I cast detect alcohol if magic was allowed.
I can detect if people are poisoned without having to try. It's just automatic.
Yeah. So then, yeah, Asiri would know that for like the first time in his whole career, Gibbs had not drank today. It's pretty obvious to most of you as like Gibbs leaves. The damage has been done. He got to shout necromancer really loud. The crowd they're not like actively at mob state right now, but there's a lot of like the seeds of discontent have been planted within them.
I say, guys, we could ask if the clerics could put us on a zone of truth and ask.
No, I think Gibbs needs to. I think that we need to discredit Gibbs and call him a lunatic. That's crazy. That he's the one that has been working with the necromancer, and that he is trying to. I think that's what I'm not telling the court. I'm telling the group this.
And I think he killed the previous sheriff.
He definitely killed the previous sheriff. He definitely killed like everybody in the town.
Yeah.
So it's up to you guys because I can't say that. But I mean, I think Gibbs is a murderer and needs to be on trial here.
It quickly pivots to something else entirely.
Yeah, I mean, but like you said, that would be a separate trial. But we should be able to point out that there are probably like also like telltale signs of someone who's like an alcoholic most of his life. Probably there were like telltale signs of him having problems not being drunk today.
Like twitchy.
Did he have like did he show signs of withdrawal from not having drunk?
Heal checks.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
Okay, then we might be able to use that as
yeah, exactly.
Crazy and thinking and delusional and all that stuff. So somebody else needs to say that.
Yeah.
So someone with diplomacy needs to say that right now.
Well, Gelden is not that great with medicine, so I have to draw on your expertise there and maybe on other people who are in the room who are not us. You can.
We should also bring in the line of questioning about what happened to the previous sheriff and what Gibbs did with him. Just saying.
Yeah. I bring forward.
Let him completely discredited in front of the mob.
I say that they shouldn't. You shouldn't pay his words any mind. He has always been a big talker, that he liked to make up stuff. You can tell by some of the signs that he likes to drink all day long, and he actually was shaking from the withdrawal of alcohol that for not being able to drink today, which I'm actually somewhat amazed that he managed to do. Someone must have promised him great things for that. And people who do know about how was this city called again that we were?
Ravengrow.
Ravengrow used to have a different sheriff, and well, the last one actually got murdered. And when Gibbs here riled up the
you can't say that.
What?
You can't say he got murdered. You could say but you can imply that he got murdered, but you can't
Okay.
say he got murdered because you don't have the actual evidence that he got murdered.
Went
Yeah,
missing.
true. I mean,
He went
What
missing.
happened? Yeah, you make it implied that Gibbs is the one that killed him, but you can't say that he got killed. Type of deal.
I instead said that he is used to riding up mobs and putting them on people. Like, where did the last sheriff go? He was also unhappy with the last sheriff and riled up the mob against him, and now the sheriff was gone.
Did you notice how he said that he used to walk backwards around me?
Yes, he is
Testify to that.
indeed
I think
highly superstitious person too.
Okay, let's
Highly
get
superstitious and more than a little insensitive to those of other cultures.
and one more diplomacy check from Geldern.
Okay, come on. 19?
There's enough of a.
Did we count as assistants?
If you want to try to aid, now you certainly could. At this point, you're not really cross-examining a witness. There's just a lot of noise right
Yes.
now.
Actually, rolled high.
Meh.
Undo the damage that was done is what we're really trying to do, and discredit.
Yeah.
I didn't really assist.
Yeah, exactly. We are just trying to undo the damage done.
So, there's a lot of.
discredit his cries of necromancy.
And
We're
the
just
judge.
trying to make that.
The judge nods and he looks at the person with the taking the notes in court and just nothing Mr. Hafed has said will be held in court in regards to what we are actually here for. All of it shall be stricken from the record. And you, Otto, find appropriate witnesses. He bangs his gavel. Court is adjourned.
Tommy, does the crowd look like it will hurt us if we try to walk by it?
The crowd has filed out at this point, but
Okay.
possibly.
Well, actually, I don't think the crowd is that important. As long as we have the courts on our side, I think we can eventually deal with the crowd.
I think the crowd can do. He's been calling it a mob. That sounds like mob justice to me. That's always what that sounds like.
It's
Bad
a.
flashbacks.
I
Yeah.
think it's a
Yes.
mob that the judge sort of convinced to do a trial.
Well,
So-
we are still in the city. They do have like guards and stuff like that. So
And
I
the
think we
courtroom
should be
has
able to.
probably about a little less than a dozen guards here.
yeah.
Is it called
Yeah.
a plaintiff, the person we're working for? What's it called again?
You are
The
working for
defendant.
the defendant is the beast. You are working with you're working under the table with one of the judges and working alongside a defense lawyer, basically.
Yeah, him. I asked the lawyer, so what is the next trial going to be about? What crime?
Tomorrow is he's obviously pretty anytime he's tried to open his mouth since the trial started, he's gone to just full blown just wall of stutter. The next day of trial is and he starts shuffling his notes back and forth. An arson. The Carb Island Sanctuary.
The Carve Island Sanctuary.
He nods.
He said arson, so burning it down. That doesn't make any sense.
What is a... Do I know what
Used to
that
be a
is?
Knowledge local.
Alright. Let's see here. Local, do I got local?
Put a rank in knowledge local so I could do this.
I don't have ranks in it.
I did it because I got the monster lord. I'm rolling low today.
I'd
Okay.
like to... Could I roll to assist?
You can, yeah.
Alright.
Or was that what your 5 was? I was looking at the book. I didn't see the 5 come down. It's all just...
No, I didn't even roll.
Okay, they'll go then.
Since I didn't know if I could, since I didn't have ranks in it.
Okay, so with a 10, you guys are both together, not super sure.
Can you tell us what that is?
It's
I ask him.
It was a hospital on a secluded island. The beast is accused of setting fire to it killing the doctor, killing most of his patients.
That seems. What would be the point of him attacking that?
He shrugs.
Well, the argument is that he's a monster, so he doesn't need reasons to attack.
But can he even swim?
Uh,
Then
I don't think so, right? Didn't we have that question last time? When he got attacked by a crocodile?
Last time we talked about whether or not he was bitten.
he could bleed.
Yeah, he certainly seems capable of swimming, and like if there's a, I'm trying to. Yeah, you guys would, as you guys are talking about it. Well, there's a path. The island is. He begins like sketching a little on his like a little notepad, and then there's a sort of a natural land bridge. I'll say, I guess. Bits where like here the water is shallow enough that he could probably have made his way over.
I see.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Is there any part of the building that survived, or is it just ashes?
Just rubble now.
Are any of these places connected at all? Like Hergstag, the children or whatever, in this sanctuary, and the beast? I mean, like, is there anything? I mean, what's the point of this all?
They are not connected, no. They assume, I guess, that when there's a monster roving the countryside and things happen, well, they need a scapegoat.
Is there any survivors of it?
Yes.
The fire?
The doctor's assistant.
Is that one of the witnesses that will be called?
As I double check the book before I tell you wrong. Yeah. A man named Carl. Yes, he's here. He'll be called as a witness tomorrow.
Do you know if there's like a record keeper there we could talk to, like someone who kept logins of the patients and stuff? Maybe someone from Herostad was there.
Shakes his head now.
Okay. Let's see. Did the hospital get supplies from here? Did they have like a supplier here for their medical supplies, or? I'm just trying to find leads here. Since you live here, you might know more.
Makes sense. I believe, yes. It's not far from here, just a few miles south.
All right.
We're certainly the closest town.
Who's the person's name or the business?
I wouldn't know. There are enough enlightened folk here in Lepidstadt that it could be anyone.
Oh. Is it illegal for us to talk to the witness ahead of time, just to see any clues we could go down? I ask him.
I suppose it depends on what you ask him.
Just the supplies is what I'm thinking of right now.
You could. I believe he lives in a small cottage by the river these days here in town. Unfortunately, I believe he was blinded by the fire. Don't see why you couldn't speak to him. Again, if you go questioning him or turns to Molden being as scary as you are, it could go badly tomorrow.
Well, the guy can't see him, Molden, how scary he is.
That's true.
Alright. I think we should go and ask him, like, I'm just trying to find witnesses. I tell the party that is not this guy or anything. I think we should still check out the burnt building, but since it's rubble, there won't be much evidence. So I'm trying to get more words and people's opinions on what happened.
Hmm. I get you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Gibbs claim that the professor is roaming around the city?
He got cut off pretty fast, but it seemed to be like he was claiming that the professor's body had reanimated in Ravengrow. Certainly, if there's like a reanimated anything wandering around a city as big as Lepidstadt, like someone would do something about it.
You are really cutting out. Either
Yeah.
that or I am.
You're cutting out on my end too.
He's cutting out of mine as well.
That's what I have to say about that. In
Well, that
Ravengrow,
got through.
zombie wandering in Ravengrow. Loremore's zombie.
I wonder how Kendra's taking it.
As far as you know, she was in attendance today. You didn't. There were a lot of people, and it quickly became a lot of standing and shouting. You didn't see her.
Yeah.
Well, before we head out, I want to speak with Kendra. Maybe the rest of you could
I want to put an end to Gibbs,
follow up with
personally.
the supplier.
All right. So you go talk to Kendra, or we try to find the supplier?
Okay. Both of those are valid options.
Still want to end Gibbs.
We don't want you going on court. I want him dead too.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
everything that
I
happened in
really wanna know
Ravengrove
that
is
guy.
now coming to haunt our asses.
Yeah. Well, we kind of knew that would come back to bite us.
Yeah.
And that's why if we end him now, he won't come back to bite us again, will he?
If you do that, it will help us, but not help us at the same time.
Yeah.
What's worse, Gibbs or Ghost Gibbs haunting us?
He could get him. Strike him down now. He'll become much more powerful.
Since are we away from the defense guy now?
He's not paying attention. Just flipping through his notes.
All right. If you want to, I whispered to him. If you want to do that, you would have to kill him quietly, cut him up, and feed him to the alligators.
I'm not an assassin. I'm just
It doesn't have to be
speaking.
precise. He doesn't need to scream.
Master, for the
Man.
first time in this entire campaign, you're starting to make sense. The sword in your arm says.
You're starting to fix.
I say to if he proves too much of a nuisance, I will consider drinking his blood to the hand.
Ah, good. Yes, we're so hungry, Master.
Oh,
And if that's not a big enough flag that talking about murdering someone who might be horrible, but nevertheless is kind of just a giant pain in your butt is an evil action, I don't know what else is. Some people have a devil on their shoulder, some people have a sword in their hand. It's awkward.
I have one in my hand.
In any case, it sounds like the plan is to go to the sanctuary / talk to
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Not like stuff of what happened there, just suppliers, any other survivors, stuff like that.
Okay, makes sense to me.
Would anybody have a reason to burn it
Burn
down?
down. I want to burn down.
Makes sense. Okay, cool. So since that would take greater than 3 minutes, I don't know why I said 3 funny there. Stop judging me. That's where we'll call it for tonight. I think. Let me. Carrion Crown is put together not as good as some other things are in terms of like adventure paths and when we should do the thing, the leveling. But I feel like we've moved really far through. Let me. I'm gonna spend the last 3 minutes looking for Hashu. We're doing stuff. We'll say Achilles really wants you to level. Let's not level yet. I leveled you guys a little too fast on accident, so we'll hold off for now. But Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back in a week. Hopefully we're all here for the final day of the trial and a little more. I almost said excavation. Okay, the cat really wants me to go. I have to go. Say bye, friends. Not all at once.
Oh, you cut out there.
Say goodbye, you cowards!
Silent.
Bye.
Bye.